S S S S S S S S S S S S S S S S S S S Soup 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 S
M.
Soup. Hello everybody and welcome back to SMSoup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name but not
on the brain.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Shelby.
And we are here to take you on a magical journey through life's biggest questions, seeking all of the right answers through various methods like games about what foods look like what and how they look that way because of glue and motor oil, and deep dives into marriage and cereal and soon to be Colts ?
Not today.
Not today. Instead, today we're talking about Shelby.
We're talking about me the whole time.
I want to talk about me. Want to talk about You had an idea. Because we had to pre-record a lot of episodes, and we actually did.
We definitely haven't made mention at all of the fact that we have to pre-record.
Really proud of us. First off, because it would have been very easy for us in the face of this to go, just, lay down, roll over, and die.
I'm close.
And we are close. But we're doing it. And honestly, it's providing a nice little break amidst all the craziness.
Yeah.
Kind of. For me.
Yeah.
Let's talk. What do you have for us today?
Well, first off, we got gas. You
remember.
The car
oh my
is
God.
no longer beeping. She's now purring.
Yes. That is correct.
That was my fun update.
Nice.
Do you have any fun updates?
No.
Cool.
Context.
No.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We talked about Father's Day.
Yeah.
And before that episode, you had a couple of ideas written down.
Mm-hmm.
One of which we didn't go with. One was Father's Day, which we did go with.
Really,
then you went with, then you had the idea about
totally new idea.
Father's
Day.
Into your
I invented Father's Day.
And back in 1908, you went into your 5 favorite movies for an episode. That was your idea. Then what you're talking about today was also your fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not pulling my weight, but don't worry. Because we were really scraping the bottom of the barrel for these 2 episodes, this one and the one you'll hear next week.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, don't worry, Shelby. You've done all the work.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to that. But what do you have this week? That's just to explain why the content farm is so
weird.
Dry.
Sad. So this is the top note of my document. It all started with the pink drink.
The pretty pink fairy drink.
The pretty pink fairy drink. This is really fucking random. This isn't precisely a deep dive. This isn't like I don't really know what to call it. It's basically I asked almost a what if question or a why question.
Oh no.
And then just started
Shelby
Googling.
And what if questions go together better than peanut butter and jelly.
This isn't really a what if question, but that's you know what I'm talking about. My brain couldn't stop going. Basically, my big question, which I'm sad to say didn't even get answered.
Love it.
Was why the naming conventions? Why the Starbucks naming conventions was the big question.
Mm-hmm.
It largely came down to the drinks. A few years ago, the pink dragon, something other. What are these?
The bad dragon.
I don't remember what the hell they were all called.
Those are the dildos.
But what are these naming conventions for Starbucks?
And you mean not just the drinks, you mean the sizes too, right?
It bled into that. That is where we are with the overarching question.
Okay.
My brain was specifying drinks. I didn't get this drinks question answered.
Sizes?
Sizes, yes. Sizes, yes. Drink names, no.
That's pink a spoiler.
Pink drink, no reason.
Is it at least pink?
It's hot pink.
Oh, okay.
Like, your brain should signal, don't drink that.
Yeah.
Which also was like, why? Like, my brain is going, why do we like this? So I kind of just started researching Starbucks. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, someone else had a question.
Okay. I'll wait.
Okay, no, now you go. Yeah, Spencer?
Okay. Does Starbucks name any of their food anything dumb?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was just curious.
I could totally be wrong, so to be honest, I didn't look into that.
Because, like...
But off the top of my head, I know, like, you can get, like, a scone. You can get... They have this
Yeah.
weird little lollipop thing, cake pop things.
Yeah.
But they don't make
so
weird
their
names
drinks
of
are
them.
tall, which is a small, grande, which is a medium, and venti, which is the large.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which, wow, there's a whole history of, like, what their sizes used to be, what they are now, this, and that. You can still ask for the old sizes, which basically, I guess there used to be, like, a taster size. Like, basically, when you go to ice cream, they're like, it's the kid's cup or an adult tasting cup. Like, you know that?
I don't like how you said kids cup. I don't like your tone.
But you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like basically like one scoop. Like they had a mini, effectively, that was like barely anything that like just never caught on in, at least to my knowledge, the US market. But
Shocking.
it's still a secret menu item. As in you can go, can I just get like a little bit? They give it to you in a little cup.
I hope they're just like, well, we only have venti cups
yeah, so
left.
they give you a shot in the venti.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
Can I get a little taster of your caramel syrup? They just do one pump. Like, here you go.
So this all started with the pink drink, which is, quote, directly from their website, our crisp strawberry acai refresher beverage with accents with I just can't not read something Starbucks in the most arrogant tone.
Yeah, but have you ever seen, like, you're reading it, you're literally, I mean, it's Valley Girl, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
But you're reading it in that voice, and there's this really good, I think it's just like a skit or something. I've seen the clip like a million times. Couldn't tell you what it's actually from. It's got the guy, the main character from Office Space, not the character, the actor. And he's like ordering coffee, and the barista, she's talking like this. She's like, "What can I get you?" And he's like, he's like, "I'll take a small black coffee." And she goes, "Do you want room for cream?" And he's like, he gets visibly mad and goes, "No, I don't." And then she's like, "Why are you talking like that?" And he's like, "Why are you talking like that?" And it's really funny. And anyway, because we're talking about Starbucks, because you started talking in that voice, it made me think of that. Total aside, not important. Shelby.
That's how I feel going into a Starbucks, even though every employee, employee though is actually really nice. Like it's not like I've ever. Oh,
I think it was your iPad.
I don't know why so I could never get the sound to go off on here.
May
I?
I was just gonna break it.
Oh, that's fine.
Go.
I feel like every employee I've ever interacted with is like really nice at a Starbucks. Yeah, I just get the vibe
I feel
that like someone is gonna talk really annoying to me.
Well, and so
but it doesn't happen.
I was gonna bring that up, right? Where like people are just like, yeah, oh, you're going to Starbucks, and while you're there, can you get me a large? Oh, sorry. Can you get me a venti? I'm pretty sure if you go into Starbucks and you say, "Can I have a large?"
Oh yeah, no one's gonna.
Nobody's gonna say anything. Correct. But everybody acts like Starbucks is like the douchiest, like run like company that they're gonna stand there and be like, "It's a venti."
Yeah.
In that voice and all that stuff. And I feel like that would not happen because, like you said, like every Starbucks you've gone into is somebody who probably hates their life trying to be as nice as possible.
And they are normally generally nice.
Yeah.
Like, not that you have to be the nicest person in the world. Like, that's not really what I care about. But, like, I've never had, like, a bad experience. Is the window just giving in too much light? Anyway.
No, I just feel like I'm, like, off screen almost.
So, our crisp strawberry acai refresher beverage, aka the pink drink, with accents of passion fruit and combined with creamy coconut milk, evokes a fruity and refreshing sip of spring, no matter what time of year.
Wait, so you can get it any time?
I don't know. I'm guessing it means like regardless of the weather. This is the vibe. I feel like it's only out though for spring and summer. I don't know Starbucks. I feel like I should say that from the beginning. I don't know Starbucks.
So do we have to go get these and try them?
I don't know. To me, drinking basically juice in coconut milk does not sound appetizing. I'd rather just drink juice. You know what I mean? I remember a few years, the reason I said the like pink dragon, whatever it was, the reason I said that like from a few years ago is I did get it And I literally watched just a lot of things get combined into a cup. And then I was like, this is a lot.
Shelby, that's any drink.
Yeah, but like,
or meal. It's just a lot of things getting combined into one thing.
Yes, it's just there's a lot of like syrups going together and a lot of, you know.
Oh yeah. That actually reminds me of this. One time I was watching you bake a cake and you like started putting all these ingredients into like a bowl and then you put that bowl in the fucking oven and then there was a cake. That was kind of gross.
Fun
See
Starbucks.
what I did there?
Fun Starbucks fact. This is just the venti white chocolate mocha frappuccino. By consuming that, you've passed the calorie count of a Big Mac.
That's scary.
Because that frappuccino, again, it's a venti, so it's the quote unquote medium.
No, it's
a large. That's a large. My bad. Is 550 calories.
Wait, a Big Mac is less than 550 calories?
I guess.
Oh, no way. Okay.
You feeling a little bit better now?
A little. I mean, because we've gotten a lot of venti mocha fraps in our lives, which I know you technically said this is the white mocha.
That was a very specific flavor, but
yeah,
we get one very
still,
similar to that.
It's probably like 500.
Yeah.
Which is not, that doesn't make me feel good, but I thought a Big Mac was like close to 1,000, so.
Unless like this place had the wrong stoof, but that's what it said. So the weird naming conventions for sizes of cups. It all started because basically the guy who joined the original trio of Starbucks, because at first Starbucks was just like you went there and got coffee grounds, basically, started by like 3 guys. This guy came on and then ultimately with a bunch of other investors bought the company and made it into what it is today. And he's basically like the head of I think he just stepped down as CEO like in the last few years.
So it's like the McDonald's story.
Sure. I don't know the McDonald's story.
Me neither.
Okay.
That's just my assumption is that it was some investor who came in and overtook it.
At some point, yeah, basically any big corporation is going to be that. But yes, so if I'm talking about any guy, it's basically going to be Howard Schultz. What?
Howard Schultz?
That's the name I was told.
He owns Starbucks?
He like was a huge investor and was their big like chief marketing officer and blah, 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 blah. So he's
probably the one who changed the logo and got rid of the titties.
I mean, probably, but I'm sure there was also multiple people's decisions
to
make it more marketable. So he was heavily inspired by Milan, Italy's coffee culture and his own Italian heritage, which is why Starbucks is what it is, from everything from the cafe experience to like why the baristas are supposed to be like so nice and friendly
and tan.
Sure. So, and then to the naming conventions as well. So all the names basically correlate to the Italian word for small and large. So grande is technically large. And then you can get the venti, which is 20 ounces. And venti literally is like 20, like, or at least very close to that in Italian. Apparently there's also a bigger size called Trenta, which is 31 fluid ounces. A venti's already 20. And now you added just basically a whole nother like can of Coke in there.
Uh-huh.
So there's even a bigger size, which I've never seen that advertised.
Me neither.
A Trenta. Don't know if it's a secret menu item. I have no fucking clue.
So what you're telling me is we need to go get the pretty pink drink in a Trenta.
I wouldn't even like have the confidence to request that because I'd be like, is this a real size?
I'm going to die of cardiac arrest.
So that's why all the names are what they are. All the things are what they are. But they don't act like the Italian goes anywhere beyond that. Like, I think it was just the sizes.
I think it does because I think he's, or some douche who loves Italy. Okay. Like went over there and had like coffee with olive oil in it.
I'm going to get to that.
And thought it was him.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to spoil it, but he thought it was like life-changing. Mm-hmm. And then most people were like, I'm pretty sure Italy and like other touristy places know to fuck with Americans, and that nobody in Italy actually puts olive oil in their coffee.
That I don't know about.
I thought that's what I
believe
heard,
you.
which
I
is
don't
really
know.
funny.
That is really funny.
Because then he was like, "This was life changing," and everybody drinks it and is just like, "My stomach is gonna kill me."
Yeah, that probably sounds awful.
Probably sounds awful.
It
No, it does sound awful.
I do have notes
Sorry,
about that. You're
I'm sorry.
okay.
I hate to spoil things.
So
I was reading about this cult earlier.
So, that was literally basically the beginning and end of why Starbucks has weird naming conventions for their sizes.
Sure.
There was still really no good reason for anything else.
It's funny though, like you said, like they don't really the Italian stops there.
It literally does.
You know, nobody's saying arrivederci when they check you out.
So then it just kind of led me into like, if I'm just trying to like learn about Starbucks, what does the internet want me to know? And immediately everyone was like, why does Starbucks always spell my name wrong? You know?
Yep. I know why. I have a guess.
Okay.
It's a marketing ploy.
Okay.
To get people to take a picture of their cup with their silly little name on it, spelled wrong, and post it everywhere. And it's like one of those things where it's like a subliminal message almost that trips people into like seeing that and going like, oh, I could go for Starbucks.
Anymore, yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it probably started because somebody accidentally just spelled someone's name wrong. Like I would go up and be like, my name's Spencer. And then they would spell it with a double S instead of a C, right?
Yeah.
Like SPENSER. Not two S's at the start or something like that. That's what they would do now because they're like, we're so wacky. But they would like do that and I'd be like, ha 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 ha. Oh, Starbucks, you fools.
So obviously it was happening. People were talking about it, and there isn't really like a direct known core like why it started, because like you said, it was probably like sometimes the music loud, sometimes there's a lot going on, like these people are busy, sometimes you have a weird ass fucking name and it's like spelled in like a very unique manner. There's a lot of reasons why that would get mistaken naturally. And then in 2014, Paul Gale published a YouTube video within it saying, quote, I'm the one who writes your name in black marker on your Starbucks cup. I probably write about 500 customers' names every day. Recently, it's come to my attention that people aren't always satisfied with the names I've written. In fact, many people say the names are often wildly inaccurate. They want to know why I can never get it right. Allow me to explain why. I am fucking with you. I don't mishear your name. I'm deliberately misspelling your name to confuse and annoy you. It is the best part of my job and I will never stop. So that video apparently like blew up. I've never seen it, but people were like, aha, like the answer. Turns out this is all quoted from mash.com, that like whole quip there.
Mm-hmm.
This video has been heavily now understood to have been parody because this creator makes comedy content. But I'm sure there's a lot of truth in what they're saying. Like, that does not shock me as a reason.
I'm sure, like, to some degree where, like, somebody hears somebody's name and and I'm sure, like, it's not, like, a malicious I want to fuck with you, but, like, handing you your cup, watching you read your name that has been spelled one way for your entire life, and for some reason, 2 letters are swapped or a whole, like, half of the name is omitted.
Right.
It, like... Watching that break you for 2 seconds, I'm sure is like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha.
Also, to not
but it's not
even,
like malicious. It's not like I fucking hate you.
Right.
I'm going to spit on your name.
To not even solely think of it from the malicious standpoint, sometimes I'm sure things can be moving so fast, you don't have the time to go, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, your name is. Like, you don't have the time.
Wicka wicka.
You don't have the time to sit there and be like, is that right? Like, you're just like,
can you spell that for me?
Or you've already just made a spelling error and gone like, I'm committing now. Like, there is no changing what I'm doing. You said it over on the counter. So that kind of created the like spark of where it was believed to have come from. Again, obviously that original video was almost definitely made in parody. Your mic is like perfectly in front of me and it looks like I'm talking into it, but I'm like 2 feet away from it.
Oh, it's so big. Why is your mic so big?
So since then, obviously people have sort of slowly commented that it's basically a marketing tool. And obviously, like, yes, people love to talk about when things go wrong. Literally, it's the exact same theory as content creators who always say to misspell something in your image caption, because people's favorite thing to do is correct other people, and that literally creates engagement.
Yep.
And so that is, whether it was intentional or not, that is what Starbucks did by misspelling names.
And like bad press, not that like misspelling names
yeah.
is necessarily bad, but like it's negative attention.
Yeah.
But any attention's good attention.
Exactly. So higher ups have been asked directly, and they've said they have never directed anyone to do this. And they basically said something along the lines of,
everybody who works for us is illiterate.
Sometimes spelling a specific name out in a quick manner in a loud setting is tricky. That's basically what they said.
I can assure you, no Starbucks, and I'm not saying no Starbucks is this way, but no Starbucks I've ever been in has been loud.
I've been in a few that have definitely been playing music pretty loud.
I've never been in a Starbucks where I've had to go,
a mix of the music and machines running.
Can I get a... And like I've needed to yell to them. I can go up and go, can I get a venti mocha frappuccino? And they'll be like, yeah,
no,
I hate my life.
They actually have to keep it really low, because for the cashiers who are like, what can I help you with?
How can I help you today?
Even Reese Witherspoon posted a photo with the Starbucks drinks where her name was spelled out as Greece, like the country. And she was like, ah. Like, picture like...
Don't you know who I fucking am? Yeah, picture her with her very strong jaw. Don't you know who I am?
So...
That was the real issue.
What? Reese Witherspoon being misnamed?
Yeah.
I should say Grease Witherspoon. At the end of the day, it's clear Starbucks is really freaking good at marketing themselves to different audiences, because they've literally made their own cups as coveted collectibles. Their city mug series across the United States. They make these, quote myself, obnoxiously bright drinks that look absolutely ridiculous but photograph perfectly for Instagram. But they're still, at the end of the day, known as a coffee shop. Like, you hear Starbucks and you're just like, it's coffee.
You don't think of them as a gimmick.
Yeah. Like, they still present themselves in like a very, like, they're dependable. They're like everywhere. They're like an easy place to go to. And you're still like, anyone can go to Starbucks and get a drink. But yeah, I literally put, it would have been an opportunity for them to be the most overwhelming place to visit, yet somehow they've clearly made it work. Because there are jokes about the naming conventions. There are jokes about, I never know what to do. They do, I don't know like what they take on and off the menu, but like things can be off the menu and you can still ask for those items because they really value like customization. And that's really overwhelming if you like don't know what you want.
Yeah. But
they still bring in customers. They're probably, I don't know the number, but they're definitely one of the biggest coffee chains.
Top 5, right?
In definitely the US, if not like globally, because they are all around the world. In a February 2023 interview with Inc.com, Schultz said that Starbucks was working to bring something new and how the future of Starbucks is all about furthering customization. Specifically, he believes the next new thing will be olive oil drinks. After speaking, and this is all Schultz experience, after speaking with olive oil producer Tommaso Azzaro, Schultz learned about the benefits of consuming a tablespoon of olive oil a day, and he's now opted to create olive oil drinks. They're being called Oledo, I don't know how you'd say that. The first 3 that have been created are a latte, which is basically oat milk. It didn't say coffee, so I don't know if it's just oat milk and olive oil. Like, it didn't specify coffee. I don't know. But I would assume a latte is literally coffee and milk. So I'm not trying to be dumb. It just like didn't say it in the like listing. A cold brew with olive oil added to it. And then
the latte has to be coffee.
I would also think. Yeah, and then a shaken espresso that obviously has olive oil in it, and then hazelnut like syrup for extra flavoring. So those are the main drinks, but he also believes this will catch on and people will start asking for olive oil in their coffee, just like creamer and flavored syrups. Like, he literally believes this is the next thing to hit coffee in the US specifically. These Oledo drinks are in a handful of pilot stores across the US and the globe. Like, I think there's 15 states in the US that house like one that will like they all like it's very spare because they literally just rolled this out in February and they're like Starbucks is I mean all companies do this, but Starbucks is very much known for like piloting these ideas in like the big stores like New York City. I do think actually Boston has some, obviously Seattle, et cetera, et cetera. But direct quote from Howard Schultz about this new drink series, taken directly from the Starbucks blog/press site. Quote, in over 40 years, I can't remember a moment in time where I've been more excited, more enthused. That demonstrates the pride, the quality, the passion, the heritage, and the craft of what Starbucks can do. And that's kind of all I found. I think they're just really good at coming up with something new, or maybe not even new, just like making it feel new and just going like, this is cool. And then we just believe it. Mm-hmm. Or because they make it look so visually interesting, curiosity gets the best of us. And, you know, as soon as one person's trying it, someone else wants to try it because like you can sit there and go, that looks gross, but I still want to try it.
Mm-hmm. Like coffee and Coke.
Yep. Like coffee and Coke. Yes. Quite literally.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what works.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's hard to not be energized by a sip of coffee and a line of cocaine. What were you talking about? No, it is crazy. Honestly, I think of anytime I think of Starbucks, I oftentimes think of dumb influencers and
yes, me too.
How they have to post pictures of it. And there's a lot of weird practices when it comes to what influencers do.
Yeah, but Starbucks has leaned into it.
But they're capitalizing on it.
Yeah. Like they've leaned into all those weird trends and helped create new ones. But still, if I think of Starbucks, sure, all of that other stuff's in the back of my head. Like I know that's all connected, but that's not what I like immediately picture when I'm like, I'm going to go to Starbucks.
No, when I think of Starbucks, I think of shitty coffee. Like shitty coffee, and I'll get a milkshake.
Mm-hmm. A 500-calorie milkshake. I also think I will
say... Is that
say,
low for a milkshake?
I don't know. I feel like probably not, but also I could be wrong. I do think, and again, I don't have like numbers or anything, but I also feel a big thing that made them really seem more useful is I feel like they became a really good co-working space before co-working spaces were popular. They have
them
had
and Panera.
Yeah, literally. They have had it always feel like you could come there and work, which people of generally our age, like, you know, their, you know, flexibility in the workplace has become more and more popular even before the past like 4 years. That literally, yeah, Panera and Starbucks were like probably in my memory the places that were the most dependable.
They were the chain places that were the most
obviously
dependable.
Local coffee shops.
Most cafes.
You can do that.
Are not a named thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decently good vibes to work in.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, but no, I do hear what you're saying. And obviously there's much more Starbucks than there are Joe's Coffees. Although there's probably a lot of Joe's Coffees, but not that specific Joe.
Right. We're talking about a different Joe. But yeah, like in that way, in terms of like what you hear about the cafe experience in Europe, like I do feel like from a US perspective of what that might be like, I feel like Starbucks did bring a good job of like creating that. And now I just think I'll say small coffee shops are also like doing an even better job of like bringing that vibe to create more like community spaces. I mean, I know plenty were before. I'm not like trying to say they weren't, but I think it's becoming more popular to be like trying to prioritize the space inside.
Yeah.
So very interesting. That's it. I didn't really learn anything specific, but I don't know how you feel about olive oil and coffee. I don't want it.
I'm going to try it right after this.
We're going to have to drive to a very different state. Oh, you're just going to go put olive oil? Okay. We probably don't have good quality olive oil. They probably only use the finest.
Fuck you.
But yeah, that was it.
I think I'm going to put dish soap in my...
Yeah, I guess what's going to be the next coffee trend? I don't know. Just more sugar.
No, I feel like the annoying thing is going to be like, have you ever tried this all natural coffee? And it's going to
It's
be, it's
coffee.
just going to be coffee.
Honestly,
You can drink it warm or cold. It's
I
kind of crazy. And then people are going to drink it and they're going to be like, wow, this is really good.
I mean,
The
yeah,
rich oaky nature of it.
there is just a natural progression
And
of
then a few years later, people are going to be like, you know what would really heighten your all natural coffee? If you put a tiny bit of like a creamer or something in it. And we're just in an infinite cycle.
I love trends. They definitely never repeat themselves ever. But yeah, that was I still didn't get my answer. Why the pink drink?
I think it's because it's pink.
Yeah, but like that doesn't sound appealing.
The one that would
I'm
have
gonna
been
take the pink drink.
the one that would have been all I would have wanted to like know a little bit more about like how it got its name was like, yeah, the dragon one, or like why like did they name it that, or like the sparkly unicorn or something like that.
Yeah.
Like why unicorn? Why didn't you just call it, what was the thought process behind those? The pink drink is not the one I need to get to the bottom
No,
of.
that was
What color
like,
is it? What was your response when I said what color is it?
obviously pink. I obviously
You said hot pink.
I understand. By me asking why the pink drink, it is me saying why these weird drinks and what they're called.
Like, if
I
anything,
know
they should
the
have called
pink
it-
isn't the
Like
weirdest
if anything,
one.
they should have called it like Barbie's fave.
Oh, that would be good.
And
Partner with the Barbie movie.
and then people would be like, "Why is it called Barbie's fave? Is it because it's pink?" And you'd be like, "Yeah."
Because it's full of plastic.
And I'd be like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's full of plastic. It's fantastic."
Yeah. Yeah, it was more asking a broader question of like why these naming
I hear
conventions
you.
for your drinks, and I couldn't get anything. It just clearly was like, we think this will be successful and eye catching
Yeah.
and ear catching,
Yep.
and they clearly
Which
are.
makes sense, yeah.
I'm literally talking about them, and I don't go to Starbucks. Couldn't tell you the last time I've been to one. But randomly the thought of the pink drink popped in my head. So
Very cool.
that is it. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you feel like you learned something. I don't know what there was to learn. That maybe a Big Mac doesn't have as many calories as you thought it did. Anyway, we'll see you next week for Spencer's highly anticipated game that I still don't know when it is. But I'm sure I'll win.